Hey, what's up, guys? Max here. Let's talk about the update that Kabam released on Season 22. So we made a video about like strategies and kind of thoughts on how we were going to be playing Season 22, some tips maybe to consider, and then Kabam went ahead and changed it all completely. Let's fix a little baby Groot there. So let's talk about it. So Kabam Rex, aka Karate Mike, it made a post on September 24th, okay, and saying yesterday we announced the second realm event of the upcoming second anniversary season of Battlegrounds. You can see it there. You can see the post. We're not going to read over it. I mean, I'm just going to skip a sentence. Big deal, right? First up, alongside the realm event rewards, we'll be enabling Battlegrounds Alliance events. Huge thing, okay? So we talked, if you were in the live streams, to some of the players, and I assumed already too, knowing the way this was going to be broken in or is being introduced into the game at first, that like literally the top players, and I would say the top 300 players out there, not, that probably would invest in at least an Odin, if not more, into the game for Battlegrounds to convert those into like units, into Elder Marks. We're gonna use this season as a break, as like a, hey, we're gonna chill. And the reason why that is because Kabam removed the Alliance event tab and gave everybody this, which is the milestone rewards. So basically, if you use Elder Marks or energy, but ideally if you use Elder Marks, you get more points towards this event. And as a combined effort for the entire community, you were gonna get these milestones. So basically, we were going to be on the back, like we're going to be piggybacking off the big spenders, big grinders, and, having them push, so that like the entire community pushes just a little bit, and gets all these rewards, like most of us were thinking, oh, like I even said in the video, I'm thinking of just you getting up to like maybe 3,000 individual points and then like seeing how it plays out, but I'm also asking like, or considering like, I wasn't, saying like, hey, if the big grinders are going to push, then, and then it's a big effort, then we push a little bit, so that's not fair. And it really, it's still kind of set up that way, which I don't think it's kind of cool, because I feel like, like someone can get, like I can put up, let's just say 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 points towards this event, and then someone else can just put up 5 and we both get the same rewards. So ideally I will get better rewards though, and hopefully if I place high in this individual rank reward bracket, meaning maybe some more 7-star shards, some 7-star 6-tones, but at the end of the event, the other person that literally played at a bare minimum just to qualify for the points gets all the points that and let's just say I do push, right? Let's say I push and put in like Odin's worth, 2 Odin's worth of like monies into the game so that I can reach those milestones. We can all reach those milestones, So at least that doesn't seem fair, but I think in the big picture, it's not meant to be played that way. It was meant that we all contributed. Like not only the big spenders contribute, but like even the small spenders or non-spenders, but players that don't play as much Battlegrounds, kind of like maybe step up the level of playing a little bit to contribute towards this event. We'll see if it plays out that way. I got a feeling it's not. Okay, that's my thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you're planning, because even though at the beginning of the first video I was saying like I'm a do bare minimum, but yeah, even like considering talking to the players in those big alliances that get like number 5 spot, number 1 spot, like top 10, like we are pretty consistent. We've gotten top 10 a few times, but right now I think we're going to be in that top 25. Rewards coming out tomorrow. We're going to see how we place, but literally like everybody was talking about how this is going to be a break, they're not going to be pushing, and it was just they're going to chill because there was no competitiveness between alliances anymore. And those rank rewards between alliances are really juicy. That the amount of catalyst fragments you're getting for like rank 3s are really good. That sets apart like the difference between a deck that has a lot more rank 3s than one that doesn't. So and that's a win or a loss in Battlegrounds now, because really no one's people are still using rank 5 ascendants, but like if you come in with a rank 3, you're like, okay, I'm taking this thing down easy, and you just put your rank 3 defender and you kind of stall your opponent. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons how this kind of works out, and it works why the Battlegrounds Alliance event, it was super important. So that's a big win for Kabam to incentivize the top players to keep pushing and competing against each other. So that's good. So we should be seeing a lot of good rewards because those were just added onto the whole thing. This will include the usual rank rewards and trophy tokens on the milestones. Now, the Elder Marks will be removed, but keep in mind they're doubled the amount of Elder Marks than the usual realm event. So they're saying kind of like the Elder Marks for the milestones that you do get are removed, but we're getting basically a ton of Elder Marks here, which are these milestones right here for hitting those. Basically you're going to be wanting to put up, 3,500 points to be able to get that final milestone of 400 Elder Marks. So that's why Kabam is not going to give those, extra Elder Marks. I mean, it would have been great if they would have not done that, if they would just gave us both Elder Marks, because ideally we're kind of reinvesting those into the game, or maybe some people are going to hoard them and just keep them for the next season. But, whether they do or not, they're still going to get used into the game, and that would have pushed us to get higher and higher into the brackets, really, because everybody, the more you see the way we covered this last time, I don't want to cover it again, but you see the way we get points. The Elder Marks are giving you a lot more points. Win a match in the Gladiator Circuit with Elder Marks is 90 points, and then complete it, it's another 28. So, like, ideally, at 1.5 billion, let us get some more Elder Marks. I mean, that would have been cool. I don't know why they decided not to do that as a milestone. They felt like, no, they're not going to buy Elder Marks, but we still need them. We're still going to use them, so I don't know, whatever. But okay. And so here, let's move on to the next bullet point here, or paragraph. Additionally, we will be adding 50 realm event points to the win one match in Battlegrounds objective that refreshes every 48 hours. This will allow you an extra 700 points for the realm event throughout the seasons if you complete the objectives every time it refreshes. So the 50 points, like I said, maybe that's why they didn't add the Elder Marks. Again, just piggybacking on what I was just saying, because they're giving us 700 points, 50 points. So like, how much does a Elder Mark get you? 90, over 100. Yeah, it still doesn't compare, but I guess we get an extra 50. I mean, 700 points at the end of the season. Like, I don't know how much is that really gonna do, if any, like a dent. I don't know. Let's say, I don't know. Let's bring out a calculator real quick. Sorry, I didn't have this ready, but let's just say, there's like 5,000 players, and that I would say even more, like 10,000 players. Let's just say 10,000 players. Why is this not deleting? Okay. 10,000 players, and they're saying they're going to give us an extra 700 points. And that's 7 million points if all 10,000 players do it. Like, in the big picture, bro, this is nothing. Like, it's nothing. I wish they would have just kept that away. It seems like a nice gesture. It does. 700 points, but I wish they would have just kept the Alliance's Elder Marks, because those give us more points, and ideally, hopefully, the players would use it towards the event, to be able to get to those final milestones. I don't know, man. I still think this is going to be a stretch when it comes to like reaching that final 31 milestone. Man, I feel like this is another obviously realm event, just like, let me show you here, just like the Crystal Realm event, where it is, look at this, guys, we're like 12 days into it left, and we're not going to hit it for sure. I'm gonna open some crystals, see if we can kind of get to the 150 units, because I do want that. But again, it doesn't seem like it's gonna play out the way they wanted. These are like, it sucks that we wait a year And I'm glad that they did this, though. By the way, I'm glad that they did implemented this change, at least for the Battlegrounds Alliance events, because that's where I'm at. I'm in those competitive alliances that do go for those high placements, so it does motivate us to like still introduce a minimum as opposed to take away the minimum, which was probably a discussion that the officers were already having for next season. But it really still feels like I said, it still feels like the rest of the community is piggybacking off the top players that push really grindy on this. And it also feels like we're not going to hit that milestone because of that reaction, that they're just going to be like, well, let them push, the top 100 alliances. And then, everybody else is just going to like kind of grind accordingly. And we might, because of that, we might not end up hitting those final milestones. What I would love to do is hit the Tiny Hero Crystal at 21. I mean, yeah, if we don't get the final one, but at least at 21, that would be interesting. I want to see how many, it's still early to talk and see how this plays out, but 15 days into the next season, we're going to see how it really plays out. And if we're like 15 days into it and we're barely at like milestone number 7 or 10, yeah, the hope of like reaching the max on this event is not going to pay out. They would have to lower these numbers by a lot. So, I mean, they know more information. They know more of the data of like how many players play, like how does that convert to the new point system that we have now compared to the old point system that we had. Like, how many matches do players need to do? Like, they have across the board all that information. So hopefully this is not like, I mean, it probably is, but hopefully it's not one where they're going to be like, hey, well, most players do this. So for this season, we're going to try to incentivize more activity into Battlegrounds. But because we compensate you for using Elder Marks a bit more, we're going to want you to buy Elder Marks. So hopefully there's not like a monetization kind of thing involved on the literally anniversary of 2 years of Battlegrounds in this one. There's monetizations everywhere, like Kabam's looking at getting money from all sources, which is fine, but like this is kind of like a player celebration kind of a thing, and it feels like it's really monetized because of how far stretched the points are, and because of how we get more points for Elder Marks, which you have to spend units, which if you don't have units, you have to buy it with cash. And yeah, I do wish that they would have kept the Elder Marks for the Alliance though. And I get the whole doubling the Elder Marks on the milestones, but like, again, we would have used those. I personally would have used those back into it. Contributing, letting the top players still lead the force, and for everybody else, top alliances, I should say, lead the force for everybody else to follow when it comes to this event. Because I really truly believe it's going to be like the top alliances pushing this event, competing again against each other with Elder Marks, and that's where we're going to see it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys, on this one. Hopefully, again, no one's on the like, hey, we're gonna take a break for season for like an anniversary celebration in Battleground, and we become really successful and get all these milestones, man. I truly hope that's the case. But I do like the new change that Kabam did overall. Again, it does promote more competitiveness, and it does promote more activity in Battlegrounds as opposed to the way it was set up, where people were like, dude, we're not playing it. Like, I'm playing it for my like placement for the end of the season, but I'm not playing it for like rewards and stuff. But yeah, guys, take care. See you guys on the next one. Peace.